Greetings and good morning, each and every one of you. It is a thunderous Thursday, which means we have a short show today, Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we get an additional show on Tuesdays and Thursdays called Thank You for Your Attention to This Matter, which is coming up after all the live things that we're about to do, which, includes That Park Place Live coming up next. And after that, we have the Pro Show, which I'm very excited about. We have so much stuff to talk about. We don't necessarily have all the time in the world to talk about it, which is a big problem we've been running into lately, especially when it comes to Disney. Right now, the stuff that's going on with Disney is downright disgusting. I promise you that conversation's coming both on That Park Place Live and definitely on WDW Pro, because there is a massive problem here. There is a massive shift in the way Disney's going to be doing business and how their approach to gambling is going to be considered and entered into. In fact, you're going to get some of that in this show, but I promise you, there are lots of things happening. Lots of things happening. Happy birthday to my wonderful friend, Lorena Creole, who is celebrating a birthday very close to me. Technically, my birthday is tomorrow, and I am going to be setting a goal that will allow me to buy a new cultivator, which is a fancy way of saying a rototill. So, but regardless of that, I just want to say thank you for all of you helping out with the studio and all the things I do outside the studio. I could not do what I do without all of you. So, with that being said, we're going to be getting into the 6-minute daily here in just a moment. And then after that, That Park Place Live, which, hey, I'm looking forward to as well. All right, we got to jump over to the next aspect, the next part, the next shift in this particular story. So let's go about doing that. Before we do so, just a quick thank you and acknowledgement to Texas84, who says, CC, a very merry birthday to you. It's actually technically tomorrow, and thank you for your early present. I won't turn it down. Of course, we've got the amazing Ruby Hoove gifting a CultureCasino membership with all the generosity of the daily effort. I appreciate. That means Two Penny Puppet is now a member of the channel. And we've got more coming from our friend Jedi Master. What is going up? Have a great day, Culture. You have a great day, my friend. Thank you for being over there with the Loki crew in the early morning hours, and I'm glad that you're doing better, my friend. I really am. Our wonderfully positive personality, Lightning Sketch Productions, says, I'm officially scared about what this new AI Coke commercial means for the future of the film industry. I don't know. Perhaps I think too much, or it's the people that reported it. I don't know. I'm not as worried as some people. I'm not a doom and gloomer. I am not the quartering. I'm going to say that there's still going to be plenty of room for real human beings in this process, because I can't imagine that the future is Coca-Cola commercials. And finally, a super chat from our friend Ruby Hoove saying, hi, Culture and Culturians. Have a great day. You too, dear. And thank you once again for the $2 super chat. Y'all, we got to get to it. 6 minutes is coming. In fact, it starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are, and whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6-minute daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in, and there are 17 stories in all, including a bear story at the end, just for our favorite polar bear, Cernipupus Q. Burr. Let's get to the subject of all matter and the matter of all subjects, and the fact that Disney YouTube carriage fight is breaking antitrust laws. This is not the only place that this story is out there in the world, but Deadline was one of the first to drop the fact that Sinclair CEO was kind of saying, hey, this is shenanigans and it's not allowed under the law. In fact, it breaks antitrust laws, and so does a lot of the deals that have been happening lately. So the question being, what is Chris Shipley actually talking about? Well, the Wall Street journalist analyst during the company's third quarter earnings call, Ripley called on government regulators to ramp up their investigation of network affiliate relations in light of the carriage fights. And there have been a lot of them this year, if you haven't noticed, but everybody seems to have settled except for Disney and YouTube. How wild is this? Pretty darn wild, and it's very revelatory in light of the investigations that seem to be going on. Gremlins 3 movie was set That's right. It's going to show up November of 2027. It's going to, fortunately, involve Steven Spielberg and Chris Columbus, both returning for this incredible epic. I think it'll be fun. I missed Spike and I missed Gizmo. So there you go. Warner Brothers Discovery sees film studio Fly ad revenue slump in mixed Q3 amid sale or split fever. Yeah, there's a lot going on with Warner Brothers Discovery, but they are the number one studio currently as of this date before we get to any more Disney releases. And they have a chance to hang on to that if Zootopia is the flop I think it's going to be. And if Fire and Ash doesn't bring Disney the cash. So just consider that. From there, we've got Superman supercharging Warner Brothers earnings. But the reason that it's having trouble with revenue is the linear TV stuff, which they've already identified and tried to jettison with their split. They'll be able to be more aggressive with this if they join with Paramount, if Paramount actually acquires them, and I'm rooting for it. I think it's the best fit. Jennifer Lawrence did not use an intimacy coordinator. This is a revelatory thing with Robert Pattinson because he's not pervy. So apparently you discard the intimacy coordinator if you think the guy's not pervy. I thought it was to protect you in the studio and more especially the guy. If I were Patterson, I would have insisted on it. Meghan Markle's returning to acting after an 8-year hiatus. I don't think she ever stopped acting. She just stopped being paid a paycheck for that aspect of her life. She's been acting ever since she met the prince, now not prince or whatever that situation is. But she is not looking attractive these days. Sorry. And the emptiness in the eyeballs makes it all more unattractive. Moving on, we've got ESPN Bet app basically shuttered amid the NBA gambling scandal. This story dropped on, the 6th. But here's the worst part of it. It didn't last that long when we got this announcement because ESPN inked a major deal, gambling pact with DraftKings after ending deal with Penn Entertainment. You're going to see these articles starting to pop up on That Park Place and Geeks and Gamers, and you're going to get more detail on them specifically from very courageous and accurate reporters. FAA says it's going to list airports where it's reducing flights during the government shutdown, and they need to because they're going to have to give some people days off in lieu of actual pay. This is a sad situation, all because of Chuck Schumer's shutdown, which we'll talk about later today. Musk, a trillionaire? Maybe, maybe not. Norwegian Wealth Fund, or whatever the heck they call that, is trying to not have this happen. But again, he only gets paid this money if he meets certain obligations of the contract he's signing to get paid this kind of money. So I don't really care what the rage is here by any individual. If you make these goals, you deserve to get paid well as well. Why would you try to limit this man? I wouldn't. Trump has other tariff options if the Supreme Court strikes down his worldwide import taxes, and we'll see if they actually do that. I don't know if the Supreme Court has the gumption to try to step in front of something that's really going to give the executive branch strength back, which we need. Trump is hosting a Central Asian leaders conference, as the U.S. seeks to get around the China rare earths metals, because as rare as they are, you can get them elsewhere. It's where do you get them processed? That seems to be the holdup. We'll see. There are other countries that want that kind of trade with the U.S., so maybe we'll get it. Let's take a look at the Wall Street early situation. Wall Street gains ground amid a steady flow of earnings reports. This was actually late yesterday afternoon, and it seems to be continuing. People are starting to put their money back into things that are a little bit more risky. Motion Picture Association tells Meta to stop using the PG-13 to refer to Instagram teen account content because, it's not their rating. Divided Bank of England holds key interest rate at 4% despite hopes inflation has peaked and the fact that they're all wearing this stupid Apple bologna sausage. And the WEF adherents are definitely going to try to step on any growth in the economies of any nation. And finally, Japan deploys troops to combat a record wave of deadly bear attacks. We've been talking about them. Remember the one in the grocery store? Well, this is continuing in Japan, and you're seeing bears everywhere. So now you're seeing military everywhere, and this is what happens when you don't do proper wildlife management. Believe it or not, that's been a degree that you could study in for a long period of time. Here in the U.S., we've gotten rid of the qualified people, but when they hear about a bear in Japan, They are now deploying the military. So be bear aware, and apparently if you're in Japan, be military aware, because you could have a very bad day. All right, folks, that's it for the 6-Minute Daily. We will return later today with thank you for your attention to this matter, my wonderful, fun political show. Up next is That Part Place Live with Morning Magic, and hopefully you get a chance to enjoy that. We'll be doing multiple shows throughout the rest of the day. You're going to want to not change that dial. Don't touch that dial. We'll take control for you. For my wonderful folks over on the Green Machine, please, if one of you wonderful wrenches could redirect to an appropriate live stream, it would be much appreciated. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, let's say thank you to Sherry's for their wonderful meal prices.
Are you tired of the same old buffet food at Wang's? Have you had enough dong to last you a lifetime? Well, take just a few more steps past those single-minded restaurants and dive into Sherry's Slam and Clam. Sherry's Slam and Clam Shellfish Bar is truly all you can eat, unlike the 2-shrimp limit that stingy bastard Wang has. In a hurry, let Sherry stuff your box. To go! Be shellfish and take all you want from Sherry's Slam and Clam. Located next to the 3rd Street Bolorama, Sherry's is open 6 days a week. If you are looking to slam clam, get to Sherry's today.
Gremlins, thank you for the gifted memberships. Much appreciated. 5 Culture Casino memberships. And, of course, one more thank you to Ruby Hoove. Everybody have a great day. Tomorrow's my birthday. I hope to see you. We're going to have a special live show later in the day. And thank you again, Kremlin, for 5 Culture Casino memberships. All right, everybody. We will see ya. Peace.